Hey everybody, it's Mark. Mark's Home Hobbies. It's kind of a cool, rainy Saturday here in Southeast Michigan. So I thought I'd work on a guitar. This is the piece of wood that you may have saw in a few videos ago. The Machine series. We had the Rage Against the Machine and Ghost in the Machine. If you watched either one of those, this was what I was working on when the machine's all broke and everything, and this is just a mock-up of how it's going to be basically, but I'm just going to describe the guitar a little bit for anybody that's into luthiery out there and happens to build guitars or something like that, in their spare time. What this is my own design of the bass, and this is a high-mass bridge. This is a piece of a Stratocaster pickguard. And this is too slightly repurposed. Got a couple of pickups that I'm going to try in there. If that doesn't work, I'm going to pull this off and I'm going to router it out a little bit and use a regular bass pickup in there. And just leave the other one up here in the front. Yeah, I'm playing around with the neck mounting there, so it's probably not the way it's going to end up being, but that's the way it is right now. So the body, if you're asking, is the top is Northern Michigan cedar, yellow cedar, and the back, I don't want to flip it over because I'll lose all my parts, but the back is poplar. Yeah, so I bought a piece from Woodcraft for $5 because I needed a piece of decent wood, so I didn't have any really that were long enough for me to get the shape out of it that I wanted to get, and without gluing a million pieces together. The neck on it right here, this is a neck that I purchased off of Amazon. I think it's Yinfinte is the name of the manufacturer of it, and I would go ahead and just make a neck too, but to get them just right, it's easier just to buy one already made. I'm not a professional luthier or anything like that, and I don't claim to be. I do work on guitars, and I kind of know what I'm doing, I guess. And I've made a couple guitars now, and they actually play, and I've used them and made money with them. So I guess that's all that really counts. Yeah, this one here is going to be another one in the collection. More about this neck. It had a plastic nut on it. I removed that. I think I'm going to install a brass or Corian nut on there. I haven't made up my mind yet how I'm going to do it. And this preliminarily is the shape of the headstock that I'm going to use, because at some point I may want to add another string over here and turn it into a 5-string, or maybe even a 6-string. Add another one over here too, I don't know. I've seen it. The neck is kind of narrow for 6 strings, though. 5 probably could get away with. It's not the narrowest neck, but everything seems good. It has a decent truss rod in there. The neck is straight. It's nice. It's a scarf joint, but very well done. You can't even really see it. It's a pretty good neck. Has a nice fingerboard on it. I haven't applied any oils to it or anything, and I haven't dressed the frets yet. They're not really sharp on the edges. A little bit here and there. I could take my fret file and just give them a little whiz on the ends just to be sure. And yeah, so that's how this is. And this is, oh, by the way, this is a 30-inch scale neck. It's not a 34-inch. It's a 30-inch, so it's going to be a short scale bass. And it's also a double octave. So that should be pretty interesting. Creates a few little problems if you're, trying to get all the measurements correct and everything like that. But it is what it is at this point, and I know I'll enjoy playing it, whatever it turns out to be, because I made it. And I think I'm going to try doing a sunburst stain on this of some type. It may not be like, traditional sunburst, but maybe like tobacco, burst, where it's kind of yellower in the middle and then darker around the edges and stuff like that. Yeah, I still haven't figured that one out yet, but the wood sure looks pretty good. I like it. I like it the way it is. It has a few little flaws in it. Had a little fly out there, a little piece of wood kind of got away from it. So, whenever you're doing this type of work, I like around the edges here, sometimes you get a little fly out there, and then you have to kind of adjust your piece accordingly. So, you do that, and you live with the results, basically, and like I said, I'm no expert, but look at that grain. Is that something special or what? I could take this stuff off of here for you so you can see what it really looks like. Yeah, it's routed out there. But look at that grain. I got it to match. Look at the lines there. And it's not even from the same piece of wood either. That's pretty nice. Oh, I could flip it over now for you. Hopefully I don't destroy it by flipping it over. Yeah. That's poplar. Will you look at that? Pretty doggone nice, I'd say. Yeah, and I've held it in my hand, and it doesn't seem to neck dive or anything like that. So I think the design is pretty good. Yeah, it just needs a little bit of sanding yet, finish sanding, and everything's pretty straight and flat. I need to drill the holes for the neck, and I still need to router out the control cavity right here, which I will do on this CNC machine over here, which is how I did the pickups. So I did not router the body out though on it, because I only have 1-inch tooling at this time, and the body would be 2 inches when you start out. So it's not going to be too fun to try to flip it over and all that stuff. And anyways, it just works out easier if you just go ahead and cut it out on the good old bandsaw. But if you watch my other videos, you can see that the bandsaw is now operational again and works just fine. And that's some of the other tools I use. I use that thing on a drill press to do some of the sanding. And then I use this little crummy belt sander. I got to get a new belt sander because this one here sucks. I can't even put any pressure on it anymore because it wants to stall out. So it's doing the same thing this thing did. It needs a new run capacitor in there. So I'll see if I can fix it. I pull it apart, and if it's not too much, maybe I'll invest the $10 and fix that. Hopefully they send me the right size capacitor this time. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, that's all the pieces that we're going to use there. A few more pieces yet. I got some Ernie ball strings to put on there. And the neck, I think I may back that off. I mean, I wasn't even going to have this round part on there. I ended up gluing that on there. You can see it's just, glued on there. But I still don't know if I'm going to leave it on there or if I'm just going to go ahead and take it off, because I really don't need it, because the bolts are going to go down here. So it's just kind of like for decoration or something. But it does line up pretty good with this one right here, so I could leave that on and then just shave this neck right here. Take my sander and go ahead and shave that around there and bring it back a little bit, and then taper this on this side. So when you're on this side, so when you're playing it and you've got your hand around the neck, it's tapered to fit your palm, so that you'll be able to hit the higher notes, easier access to the higher notes on the neck. Not that bass players use that part of the neck too much, but some bass players do. This one does a little bit, but this one here hasn't played bass in a while, so it's going to be a trip when I do get it done and finished up. But I think the wood looks pretty good, and for popple, it's a decent looking chunk of wood. I think it's really nice, and the cedar on the front is nothing to sneeze at either. I think that's a beautiful piece of wood too. Altogether, I think they make two really, really good looking pieces of wood, and I hate to paint over the top of them, even though there's, little screw ups here and there, and what are you going to do? I want to try my hand at staining and do the two-tone finish. So I think I'm going to do that. I got some materials that I can use to make stain with, and let's see what I can come up with. Anyways, that's about all I got today. Thanks a lot for all the subscribers that are coming on board. If you like lutherie stuff and guitar stuff, RC cars, e-bikes, scrapping, things like that, you like to do that? I do. I'm retired, so I can do whatever I choose to do, and that's what I do choose to do. And I choose to let you guys see it all too by filming it. So if you could be so kind as to give me a like, I would really appreciate it. It seems like everybody forgets to do that. If you really think it's interesting, why don't you subscribe? Because I try to put stuff out every week if I can get a chance to do it. Sometimes twice a week. I want to do a live pretty soon, and you're all invited to watch. So on that cheery note, this is Mark with Mark's Home Hobbies. Have a great day, and see you in the next one.